And if T1 can come back here in game number 2, they have blue side.
That helps.
Side has been very powerful. We'll see whether it is going to be a Gen G loss, whether that record is going to be made and broken on the same day. As the Taliyah, the Oner, both of them taken away here. I believe the Pantheon will still be hitting the deck because now Xin Zhao is already just Fearless banned, right? I think Pantheon becomes a pretty comfortable first pick option here for T1. I mean, Oner is the guy, right, for this team. So I think that does need to get a bit of a look in.
The other pick I'm looking towards is Nidalee.
Oh, true.
As a flex pick, a prio is the Victor ban from
Do you think T1 thought that Chovy had a good game? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's warranted.
Yeah.
The Victor particularly heart-wrenching given how the previous best of 3 between these two teams ended, with Chovy really doing his best. I've been told Arcane cosplay. I would know if only seen one. As Gwen taken away as well. Nidalee for me is very high up the prio list. Might be something a little bit less exciting. We still have a lot of the top-tier top laners up as well. You know,
now,
the Rumble is the one that I'm really looking towards because I'm double-checking, like, Rumble is open.
Yeah, Rumble is open. There's also, like, the Pantheon is obviously something they're considering. The Rumble does need a look in, and that is going to be locked away. One of the dangers here about picking the Pantheon these days is the fact that Trundle has kind of stumbled his way onto the Rift, right? Pantheon doesn't have a great matchup into the Trundle. Doran, if you ever wanted to play tanks, it would be a difficulty. So the Rumble makes a whole lot more sense because he's not afraid of what the Trundle is going to do.
Are you picking like Pantheon Ryze? Because Ryze you can flex. Because it's keen.
It's keen. And he wouldn't mind that matchup either.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because there are, like, I don't think there are that many bad matchups for Ryze either. And you have double global. We've seen this exact combo be played a lot.
Yep.
What makes sense to me. Corki's still up as well, which I don't think we're going to see with Pantheon, but I need to say it because it's Chovy.
That's true.
And he's the only guy that seemingly still thinks the champion has value.
Galio is also up.
Yep.
So you can man drop and gargoyle drop at the same time, but instead, it's going to be the On. And, like, if there's ever a Trundle angle, this is it.
Yeah, this is better because now Gen G didn't pick Ornn into Trundle.
Exactly.
Did happen last time we saw it, to our dismay. Makes me kind of wonder what they want to do for support. Because to me, an Ornn pick signals we're going to counterpick something for Duro. Because I think Gen G are a team that really don't need more than one form of engage. Orianna. Is it like Orianna Jarvan? Wukong makes sense as well. Like Wukong, Nocturne, and Jarvan are, I think, the big ones.
Yep.
That probably means you ban Ezreal if you're T1 as one of the few champions that can really escape Wukong's clutches.
Oh my god. Wait a second.
It's not all...
We're not representing all that much damage.
Oh, yeah, no, not the top side, not really, but...
Okay.
So this
Has he played mid-on before?
He has to.
I think he has.
I'm pretty sure he has. I remember...
I think I need to do my due diligence.
You go look it up. Because obviously the reason we're saying this is because Galio is also a good matchup into the Rumble. We've seen that as a counter a lot. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's just going to be Keen on the Ornn. Keen had a dreadful game on the Ornn last time we saw him. I'm pretty sure that was the LCK Cup Finals against Homa Life. That was the game where he got, like, I don't know how much CS it was, but it was...
Yeah, he's played 3 games of Ornn.
So you're saying...
He's 1 and 2. It's possible.
So you're saying there's a chance.
He can actually reach with a victory on the Ornn, he would reach a 50-50 win rate as well. Because he needs to tidy that up. Like his only other win rate that's not looking so great is 25%, like Vel'Koz, which ain't great. 0% on the Tryndamere as well. Couldn't win either of those games, and there's quite a few one-offs that he hasn't found victories on. He played a Lilia game?
Yeah, Kalista mid. I don't know. Let's not... This is like going down Faker's list, man. You're just going to see stuff.
I know.
Like, why and when did this happen? The Ezreal, to me, is a no-brainer here for Gen G. The Kai'Sa ban makes me wonder whether T1 wanted to leave it up. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Champion Pool, but maybe you just ban both the Kai'Sa and the Ezreal. Because I think if you ban Kai'Sa and they're just going to R4 Ezreal, you really shoot yourself in the foot. So if you ban Kai'Sa, I think T1 you also have to ban Azriel.
How do you do damage now?
I think they're fine.
You think so?
Yeah, you can.
I feel like Galio does do more damage than he ever used
well,
to.
that, and also with Galio, you can go with a lot of different builds, right? You can go more damage heavy versus more. Yeah, this
Keria's
is
just having a good time, I think.
Versus more, and I like the Jhin pick because it's a good pick for Ruler. He's been solid on it. It also is, I'd say, Gumayusi's second best champion together with the Varus. I think these two are kind of his hallmarks. As it is a blind pick here for Keria. Rel would make a ton of sense with this style composition, right? We are looking at a ton of team fight. Wombo combo, or the Braum, as Keria's like just having a giggle again, is obviously really strong. I'm kind of wondering whether Duro would want to go Nico here. I'm double checking. Is open.
It is open.
To have a bit more pressure in lane, but the Alistar, I do think, has a lot of value into the Wukong specifically, right? And being able to catch the arrow without too much of an issue. Also, I do agree with you. I think if the composition from Gen G really falls behind, they struggle. But if you're on parity...
In a prime position to deliver us exactly what we want.
Which is a free game.
That's what we need!
I'm not gonna... I want a trilogy. I don't want no 2-0 Atlas.
Yep. So Gen G, hopefully they don't have enough damage to get through the enemy nexus, and in fact, we do get that game 3, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get into game 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
The train driver on, absolutely fantastic. Is already Gumayusi taking a little bit of damage and does have to use his ghost.
And starting W.
Interesting. So that's how this one started. Detective Jonas Strong.
Wait,
on
sorry,
the case.
I'm confused with the Jhin. You always start W, it's Ashe.
Yeah. They were just showing that
like,
Ruler's W was on cooldown, and so therefore that was how this ghost situation occurred.
Yeah, thank you. It's also because it's Jhin, you know? It's like Jhin, Guma.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Yeah, you sort of expect that one to be the case, especially when the other side it's Ashe, and you're like, oh, that's Ruler. Does feel a bit appropriate.
Feels right. So Duro going for the phase rush. On Alistar, we have Chovy phase rushing as well. So particularly for Gen G, this goes back even to, I think it was like 2022 or 2021 Dumb One for Canyon. He's one of the few players where I'm like, no, his Pantheon, that's a late game Pantheon right there. I can see the lines.
Yeah, and also, like, this is, we are hearkening back to carry Canyon. We need carry Canyon.
In this game, he has to, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
As, yeah, we are level 1 Alistar, so obviously...
Just taking a beating.
Life not too great. It does mean that Ruler doesn't have his, which is what I was talking about earlier, right? Ruler doesn't have his Q, which means that I think generally you're not going to be able to really contest Ashe Brawl level 1. But yeah, without a grenade, there's just no shot that you can clear. So they're going to play it safe on the end of the world. As Keen on this Ornn, yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time was for
Keria on the Braum.
Yeah, that can't be right. We got to double check that.
I know, it feels wrong, doesn't it? Because it's not necessarily one of his most notable champions. Of course, the Renata, definitely one of those, as Gumayusi has contributed to one of the victories on this Ashe, as hype from the bros as well. Big shout out. Shout out to Dagon, of course, in the chat right now. If you do have anything to say to Dagon, he's right there to talk to you about it. And Gen G looking to defend against some pretty good win rates right now. It is really looking like we might get the 3-gamer. I don't want to curse it or anything like that, but I'm feeling it, man.
I don't believe in curse. I do, however, believe in backlash. So I want you to calm down the hype a little bit, Atlas.
It's no hype. And look at this. Chovy's like taking a damage. You see that?
Yeah. Normally doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been told.
Yeah.
What is what?
He might miss a cannon?
Canyon. What's the pathing? Oh my god. So one of the biggest criticisms, piece of criticism we always give to Canyon is that his pathing is extremely predictable. I'm pretty sure they spotted him on the Raptors, so their read is...
Whoa, we're flashing in. No, and Gumayusi's flashing out.
The wave is still pushed. I'm pretty sure that... So Canyon is delaying himself, but I am pretty certain that the timing should not be expected, but I think Canyon's too late, yeah. So... I'm not sure if Duro would have had to held off longer, whether he was just trying to force and then hope that T1 still play forward. But now you're just approaching normal scuttle timing, right? So the bot lane would always back off. And the wave was also not really in a position where I think it was a big deal for them to just let it go. There's going to be a couple of minions that will go into the Abyss, but we have to swap. 4 minutes in. These early swaps have still been done by some of our teams.
Yeah. Gumayusi making his way there towards the top side of the map as Doran playing pretty aggressively. You can see Keen already getting taken down relatively low. 2 biscuits sitting there, although they're not as powerful as they used to be.
The Ash Gang?
Yeah, that's an odd one. No, sorry, that was,
they know
that was the TSM jungler. Teleport down towards the bottom side of the map.
The original general.
Oh yeah, actually the original general. Didn't wear the trash bag all that often, and yeah, Bay life. Okay, Genji with Chovy here pushing up in the mid lane, doing his very best to stay in parity. Able to tidy up these minions, Justice punching away as Faker with a phase rush of his own, actually. Able to follow this Galio, who is desperately looking to try and go for a reset. Look for a cheeky one, of course, had already used the teleport, so needed some good timing to be able to get back and remain in good standing. Had to cancel, as you can see. Skeen down towards the bottom side and already taking a bit of damage here from Doran. I just want to see the first train. I love this skin.
It's one of the best skins in the game.
It's so good. All right, taunt going to come through as Chovy is quite low. Clockwork wind-up, ladies and gentlemen.
He's also
this stage of the game is dangerous.
Quite fast, fortunately for him.
Yeah. Doran just going to drop a barbecue on this minion wave, and that is going to cook it, as they generally do. Kenyon, in the meantime, is continuing to farm, as is Oner. And T1 have now positioned their bottom lane towards the top side. So once again, it is quite a slow early game.
But this time, look at that Dragon Atlas.
Oh, it's not going to be another Chemtech Soul. There you go, Orcs. Not this time, buddy. He did look like he'd watched the game when they were on the space. Like, when they were breaking things down, he was speaking about things as if he'd seen them before.
We know it's only a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
You know, and he does tend to get distracted, as really do we all.
Stop tweeting at him, guys.
It's not the call out I was making.
I thought it was. That's going to deny a
it.
cannon. That was a good one.
Canyon here towards this bot side. So Dragon is a... Oh, Canyon does get it. Should get it with the Q. And gets in a little bit of a fight with the clone before he realizes what he's fighting.
Nice.
There is obviously an ult available, and once the ult for Canyon's there as well, Doran's got to be careful. I have to be careful now. There is an ult, and he's silenced right now.
Here comes the train, has to flash.
Yeah.
And Doran does get himself out of the way. That is going to be a lot of power here.
So Canyon is Canyon's gonna do his blue buff, which it does get pinged, so really Doran should be fine. But now he has no flash, and can just get ulted on by Pantheon.
There is also the issue that Keen has the Spectre's Cowl, like the worst nightmare of Rumbles in one small item. It's a real rough one. Chovy just trying to keep his distance from Faker here as best as possible. Staying within touching distance, but you can see Faker is putting on adequate amounts of pressure towards the Galio, not giving him an easy time as the Deadly Flourish not going to connect, not going to be stopping any backs for now. There's T1 with a natural 200 gold lead.
Actually, Canyon right there gets question mark pinged. So the tracking from T1 is on point.
Yeah.
But Canyon has more important stuff to do than gank for an Orn. He's like, what are you talking about? The top camps are up.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting that time. And you know what? Probably the best call. I think Doran was still relatively healthy. Keen doesn't have ult. That's a lot of damage that you don't have. Like a brittle proc, so not going to risk it. As Chovy.
I'm really... Okay, there is
Just gets ulted.
Yeah, stopping Chovy's back with a shockwave. That's sending a message. That's asserting dominance right there. As there's a Grand Starfall. Okay.
It's for tempo, right? We just do Drake? No, we don't do Drake. Ooh. Yeah, because
he went for a swim.
Okay, so he is doing Drake, but I think they can stop him. Yeah, they're aware of this as well, because Keen and Chovy both want a base.
Yeah,
Chovy's not being allowed to base. Yeah, this Dragon is not going.
Arrow.
Not happening.
Will fly down and it does just you know, they scout the river. And that is just going to be thanks for the leash for T1. Canyon? Wait a second. Oh my god, no, you're not allowed to do that. Well, you're not allowed to get away. That is absolutely true. And in fact, it is. As the teleport comes in from the Galio, and Chovy finds the Justice Punch. There's a great Cyclone, but a good Pulverize is there as well. And if Gen G can do anything, that is make stuff go skyward.
That's so fun. It's like they both have phase rush. They go in like, no, run!
Yep.
And they run at exactly the same pace out of the bad fight.
And so there is a Chemtech Soul traded for First Blood, which might be fine. I don't know, for Gen G.
Well,
but
for
I
Soul,
think that
it wouldn't
T1
be
are
fine.
probably okay.
But I think for Drake, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she said Soul. It was
Oh, did I? Sorry, I apologize.
Well, we did have a lot of Chemtech Soul on the mind because of Ox, so that's not
Yeah.
really, it's not your fault.
It was a such a situation.
T1 though, getting an early kill onto the Rumble, definitely going to be feeling good. And a large
Hey,
part...
you said Rumble. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Oh, getting a kill onto it. They didn't kill him. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I thought you did a silly as
별로 안
well.
따랐고.
No.
버릴
I do that often though, so
버려.
that's fine.
This Canyon was just saying that it's probably fine. Got the Drake worth.
Yeah, Gen G in this game is really embodying the, I don't know, wait until we have like 2 items and then we can maybe play the game.
Chovy's under the turret. Okay, curtains. Faker. Gonna get hit by the last one as Chovy flashes for it and shuts down the goat. And also had a cow waiting at the wings.
Flash headbutt, not the ability, but just
The flash smash,
that's cool.
that feels good, doesn't it?
That's a cool move right there. Can't believe that play worked.
I mean, Ruler was fishing for some bullets. They were going some ways.
Yeah,
but he hit the good one.
Faker does not deign himself to ever, and like the Justice Punch doesn't hit, so this looks kind of over. And then Faker obviously never jukes until the end when he's in the corridor, so he doesn't have a choice. And even if that doesn't happen, like maybe Duro gets him, might with a flash over the wall have gotten out.
Yeah, he would have had to preemptively flash.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier than that.
So
Let's hold on to it for now. Let's get the cannon. There it is. Dissonance going to be able to do that.
Koenig
Nicely
Rooker
done.
now done for Keen.
Okay, this is going to be an Ornn that will be difficult to get through.
Yeah, well, Wukong does a pretty good job. That's the
That's
flash,
true.
eventually.
Okay. Especially now, when he's only representing the magic resist, but I'm more saying for in the lane, it's not going to be something that Keen's too worried about. And you can see that that is exactly the case. Actually ahead in farm at the moment against the Rumble.
We also haven't highlighted this yet, but one of the big advantages of the Braum as well is obviously when we get to team fights with Ornn, you don't really need to
Don't you
be nearly
think-
as scared.
Don't you think that if you put a Glacial Fissure down over an Equalizer, it should nullify?
Makes sense, yeah. Well, actually, okay, so what could happen is that the steam is what does the damage. So it actually does more damage, because guess what's worse? Standing on a bed of coals, that's rough. Standing on a pit of ice, also not great. But a real-life sauna on the Rift, that's dangerous.
That certainly sounds painful.
Well, depending on, you know, what temperature, because we've already been over this. I quite like saunas.
Okay, yeah. So like you're more like you don't sit on the coals though when you're in the sauna.
Oh no, that's what you'd be
that would be a
experiencing.
whoopsie.
It's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. So that sounds like an Equalizer. You know, it's just some suggestions here for the Riot development team. Hopefully, Maddie can get on it. Him and Dave pretty good at making the game work out. They can suggest some stuff, surely. That's okay. Keen is going to be picking up this wave. Oh god, the skin. It's just too good. I know we probably shouldn't be skin salesmen, but man, that one's a goodie.
Well, we are, but that one I just genuinely love. It's
Yeah.
just so funny.
It's all right. Ruler will be able to finish off this wave. Plenty of captive audiences hanging around. As Keen will just be able to clear out this one. And heading back home, looking for a reset. Just building some stuff in the bushes. That might be something that he wants to do as well. We'll just have to see. Ghostblade is done.
It's a lot of traps. One item spikes, now done.
And captive audiences everywhere.
For anyone that isn't Faker or Doran. But they will be approaching their spikes very soon as well. And we might have a second Drake fight on our hands. Keen
He took actual damage.
wants to join. Yeah. Yeah, like early on, I think Rumble's still kind of going to cook you. I think you need more than just the one item. And even then, with enough time, and Leandri's done, Keen's still gonna take a good amount.
Well, GenG now wanting to get into position around this dragon. Poke from the volley, actually pretty dangerous here, as we can see.
Baker's
Ruler
done.
getting taken down relatively low.
Item number 1. Guma doesn't have his though. But yeah, GenG's just like, nope.
Yep.
They have time, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's that steal? They're not in any pressure at all, which is why Atlas, previous game,
Yep.
felt like there was build-up, and then all of a sudden it exploded.
Oh, there it is. The Cloud Soul. That's going to give GenG all of the damage they're missing.
This is a kind of an insane Cloud Soul game, though.
I mean, if T1 gets it, it is so incredibly good. I guess, like, GenG, like, they're not going to get kited as easily and things like that. That's definitely fantastic.
Well, it's bad for Ruler, but it's... And Keen is kind of whatever, but I think it's really good for everyone else.
Yep. Chovy especially, right? Galio really makes incredible use of it. You drop down on top of your teammate, and then you can put your taunt wherever you like.
Yeah, GenG, all they want is get to their Ornn items and get Ruler to the point where his damage is a big threat. There's also no tanks on the enemy team. That is one of the issues that I think you can have with
There's
comps
no
like
tanks
this.
because GenG took them all.
They lost the cannon, by the way, Ruler. I don't know what that was.
Well,
very disappointing.
I think
Yeah, well,
I'm looking forward to seeing what GenG's next support is going to be. Because if you lose Ruler or Cannon,
It's not good.
I don't think
It's
so.
very serious.
Yeah,
It's like that and Pentas are like the two things that he gets
that's
really
career-ending.
upset about.
Career-ending moves. Let's see whether Duro can put in some work.
Losspa would never. I'll have you.
No, he wouldn't. Thank you, Alistair. Obviously.
He's playing Alistair, so...
Good times. All right, Guma just going to clear out this wave. Rift Herald going to be the next thing on the cards. Keen in good position, though, to try and defend that one, as it's now Galio versus the Rumble on the bottom side of the map. As Gumayusi going to get headbutted, takes an arrow straight to the face. Doesn't actually have to use the ulti, though. That's kind of a big deal. I was expecting him to maybe be forced to use that by overextending a little.
Oh, this comp is hard to engage into. Keria is also looking for a cancel on the ultimate for Keen, I'm sure.
The Rumble very far away, but Faker can also cancel the ultimate, depending on how well they position themselves. Is okay. Equalizer doing basically nothing. Shockwave onto 3, though. That's fantastic, but still, Keen able to burn them down. The Rift Herald going to be secured as Canyon picks up the eye. Chovy might be the sacrifice as he looks to try and Justice Punch his way forward as Canyon just rolls himself a taxi and gets the heck out of there. Oh my, are you gonna go for a charge as well? Takes the turret, and he's still gonna die. Gets a flash out from Keria. Oh, you get back into, you are not allowed to do that. And he's not, he's still going to die.
Look at his face!
My God, that was amazing. Yeah, look at that grin. Okay, guys. Okay, maybe this is where the game goes up to 11. Yeah, actually, to be honest, Chronicler is actually allergic to that play. He just sneezed.
It was way too much. So this shockwave could have been game winning, except the counter engage from Keen was crazy. That combined with the shot from Ruler and then Duro
and the immediate taunt follow-up from Chovy as well.
Yeah, they couldn't really follow. Now, what Canyon probably should have done here is just leave.
Yeah, I think that what he was thinking about was, oh, if I just crash it over here, it's fine. And then he's like, oh, but wait, I could take a turret. Let's see what he actually said about this. We will get some translation as soon as possible. As he gets in, and he needs to emote, obviously, very important.
미대 혹시 막아도 될까?
It's like, may as well. He could have, like, in theory, if they hadn't have CC'd him as well, he could have flashed the wall and then Starfalled out.
I mean, he must have known when he went in that he was going to die. Like, when you go for that charge, you know.
Yeah, I think it was as soon as he went for the charge, he was like, I think that I'm probably dead now.
But one death from mid lane turret, that's worth. You take that.
He also, like, he said two things. He said, I got in, and then he said, can I charge turret? And I imagine his teammates were like, lol, sure. Because he did. We don't have full
You know what
comms,
this
though.
is? What we just witnessed is the bad influence of Lahens on this team. That's what that was.
Oh god, the lingering Lahens.
The lingering Lahens, Atlas.
Oh man, you've been waiting to talk about Lahens this whole time. Do you want it? You can say your Lahen's bid, because actually it is very, very
No.
funny.
Nidalee is still in the pool. We're
So
gonna hold
you're
off.
saving that for game 3, but then what if Gen G wins this game somehow?
Well, then I'll bring it up whenever it's relevant. I'm never gonna forget that.
Okay.
Don't
so
you worry.
Maybe like next week or something like that.
Most likely, yeah.
I just feel like people deserve to hear it because it's very cute. As Keen,
If we get
yeah, not worried.
4 more minutes without action, which we won't because the dragon is spawning.
Oh, then you'll tell us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
But it's not like a secret. You're building this up to be way too much stuff, Atlas.
This anxious Yumi coming out from Canyon is just, it's getting more and more poignant as the game goes on.
Keen and Faker both have TP available. Ults are there as well.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a lot of damage on Guma.
Yeah, Ruler is, especially when he hits abilities, right? Like right now, he is largely lethality with the Ghost Blade now done. As Keen just going to be breathing some fire.
That's Prio. Can TP to the wave or to one of the traps. Oh, they're gonna
Wait a second.
look for the cross map.
It's the Faker Global Taunt. The train is being called. The Brittle comes through. He flashes and still gets knocked up. Collects them with the Shockwave, but doesn't really matter here as T1 will look for the first Cloud Drake of the game. They'll get that, but it's only their second Dragon. Gen G, they get their prize. They're looking to lock down even more as the Otacon is being started.
Keen and Chovy, or Chovy's here. Keen has TP. He's gonna back first, but Canyon did ult.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Oh, Ruler has ult though. They're squishy. Oh yeah, they're gonna go for this fight.
Yep, teleport going to come in. Canyon, not quite close enough, but still, Arrow connects onto Chovy. Let's see, there's some brilliant knockup. Another one, four-man. The jumping castle has been picked up, and there is the Otacon secured by T1, but can they get anyone out alive? Keria, that's a no. Doran, that's also a no. But at least Gumayusi and Oner will stay standing, and they have the permanent buff from both the Dragon and, of course, the Otacon. The Gen G walk away with a bit more money at the end of that one.
Yeah, Genji's gonna take that. Yes, Otacon is solid. It will have a continued impact in the game. But you are getting 2 turrets and what, 3 kills? For a second Drake, which frankly they're not gonna care about because by the time the next fight rolls around, they're gonna be even stronger. More levels on Keen. As Faker, it's just not been his day, right? The charms weren't on the mark, and then that flash right there, you can hold the flash, I think that's fine, and just accept the death. Or you need to flash and actually get out, which realistically I think was always going to be hard.
That equalizer, I didn't notice that one before because it wasn't quite in the area where the players were.
Well, not only that, but even if it was, the people you were trying to equalize were Ornn, Galio, and Alistair with ultimate.
That's true. There are a few tanks. I don't think that necessarily means you just put it in the river.
No, I mean, ideally, I think if you put it on Ruler, because he actually was running the big damage sources there, right?
Yeah.
Could have been a difference maker, but Ruler probably just walks it off, and then the tanks still kind of cook you. Because again, we're still relatively early in the game. It's not like Ornn and Galio are known for not doing any damage, and Riftmaker's done.
Yeah, I mean,
Unending
also,
Despair.
Ornn is a level ahead of Doran right now. Like, this is the problem, is that Keen
actually
is doling out so many items. You got the Sundered Sky, you know, already upgraded, as well as Keen, who'd already made his Rookern even more Canik than it was before.
This is all building up to when T1 finds the comeback team fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously that's happening.
Where Oner gets onto the back line, Ruler gets blown up, Canyon gets caught, and then we get to game 3.
Well, Doran.
Doran, we got to get to game 3.
Oh dear, well, we are going to call the train. That is going to get another flash, and the man drop comes in as well. Okay, well, that's a few cooldowns for a flash. Equalizer going to eat the wave, and so tempo back in the hands of T1 for the moment. With the Cloud Rift, though, it does mean that Gen G have extra maneuverability to get back around if they would like to. Vision going down, where they can find it.
I've really liked Canyon's play this game, except his ultimates, which, outside of the top one on Faker, have universally just not been great. I'm fine, he's okay. Duro's on the flank.
He is.
They know.
Who's on the flank?
Well, he's ult, so...
Well, he's going to have to ult. He will do that. Finds a Pulverize. There's the Deadly Flourish. It's Canyon waiting in the brush. He's like, buddy, I think you might be dead. He's going to have to flash. Does get out of the way. Hawkshot spots out the rest of Gen G are there. And so Duro just slowly goes through every cooldown that he has.
Some youthful overconfidence there for Duro.
Some exuberance, perhaps.
Yep, walks a little bit too far forward. has to pay with all his sums and his ult. Now the ult is the biggest one.
Oh, wait. But he has Hex Flash.
Yeah, so really, you can't take all his sums because he has Hex Flash.
Exactly. And in
But
fact,
he
he
did
should have
lose.
flashed first, because then maybe he could have just got out and then
Kept the heal.
activated Hex Flash. It's only a trade up.
Yep. But he did.
Yeah, he did.
Feats are there for T1. The gold lead, it's there, but we saw last game. I think it doesn't matter quite that much. Oner has now hit 2 items, which on the Wukong is a very big deal. I think Ruler has had an incredible day so far. And I think that this is a hard game to play as well in Jin, because if you miss step, you get toasted.
And
right?
also, he's so important, right? He's the only pure damage dealer on the Rift.
Yeah. Well, unless you believe in you know, carry Pantheon, which if it's Canyon, I kind of do. But even
I do believe in carry on. Because On, remember, is every class.
He's every class. I did watch LCK back then.
Yeah.
When On was actually every class.
Oh, he still is.
But and I think he's had a tough toss today and played really well. Chovy?
Yeah, Chovy will be discovered, and he flashes out of the way of the arrow. They are collecting flashes, T1.
And this is the soul point fight. If T1 win, they do get soul point. For Gen G, it's just Dragoness. Oh, T1. That's a T1 bear. They definitely know, though, so I don't think he can really do this. And now I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, somewhat deep
probably
is
needs to
the
actually
play.
commit.
Keen is a difficult target to do damage to. They haven't done any yet. Oh, there it is, a little bit.
Well, his magic damage shield doesn't take any, but he does.
And there's Grand Starfall. There is also the heroic entrance. So Canyon and Chovy aren't necessarily too far away. And Oner's going to be able to get over the wall. So nothing really there for the trade.
Maybe top lane turret, but yeah, you can't, right? You can't push up because there is Canyon, there's Chovy. So side laning is just kind of a nightmare for T1. Because if you try to side lane, 2 people will be there instantly. And then really, I want you to think about it. You're just a guy, you know, you're just trying to push a side lane. And then you hear the Jin ult sound.
Yeah.
There's 2 air superiority ultimates where they just come in and drop on top of you. And then the best long-range engaged champion in the game.
Yeah, they really need some anti-air, don't they?
Well, they have Braum.
That's Is that the best that you got, though? Because, I don't know, I played Advanced Wars, and if
my God,
if those helicopters start coming, man, and you don't have it...
How good is Advanced Wars?
Oh, so good. So good.
It's so good, man. Oh, now I want to replay Advanced Wars. Thanks, Atlas.
You're welcome. You're
No, I'm not. I wasn't being facetious.
No,
I know
that. I know. I still got my Game Boy Advance cartridge.
It's one of the first games I ever played, and it's just the best.
If you weren't a gamer and then you played Advance Wars, I reckon you're a gamer after that.
You would be. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good debut. Anyway, let's see whether T1 can put it together. Who was your favorite Advance Wars CO?
I think when I was a kid, it was Hawk, because I just loved the. You know, he was like kind of a cool dude.
I was a really big Eagle fan.
Yeah.
Because he was just super cool, and then the more I played of the game, the more I was like, Sammy is OP.
Sammy is, yeah, that's true.
Because at the beginning you're like, oh, Sammy's useless, infantry suck. But then you realize they're the only things that can win you the game.
Also, I loved Grit just for his theme, and I love playing with artillery because it's so cheesy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
And he was the second mission as well, so that was when you were just getting into it.
The
you're like,
soundtracks
oh,
in
damn, it's so good.
They were crazy. So.
The video game, let's get back to that. Sorry about the Advance Wars aside there, ladies and gentlemen. We will get back into Gen G versus T1.
Well, to be fair, they've been very cautious to us not to have any fighting going on.
Yeah. That's all right. Chovy, possibly discuss. Everyone's got phase rush, man.
No fighting. There's phase rush, and everyone is tanky.
Yeah. Okay, Ghostblade is what's upgraded. They weren't waiting for Ruler's Infinity Edge or anything like that. You just want a Spectre Blade. That's what I'm going to go with. I feel like a Spectre is an upgrade to a Ghost. Is it an upgrade to a Ghost, or are they both just Ghosts?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Spectre Blade. Doesn't it sound cool?
You're starting to lose me, Atlas.
Well, no. So they upgraded the Ghost Blade.
No, I know.
So what is it called now?
What's worse than a Spectre, Banshee? I mean, that's just a specific subset of ghosts, right?
That's what I was thinking. Am I just recategorizing? I don't know. I guess it sounds cooler, so it's an upgrade in that way.
Dangerously close to the biology. We don't have the knowledge of this. I'm sure there isn't official certification.
Do ghosts have biology? We're gonna need Wolf to talk about that. He's the ghost expert that we have As okay. Genji's still with a decent lead. It's about 4,000, but it's not really changing. It's starting to flatline. And flatline is a good description of how this game is sort of going right now. It is not really anyone finding too much around us. Never mind. There's the engage and the max range from Ruler as well to keep him in position. But Keria is there to play defense. It's beautifully done. And maybe Genji are reaching that point where damage.
Well, Faker doesn't have to flash. That's the biggest benefit there. They might just pull the trigger on this objective right now.
I mean, it's Arrow, it's Glacial Fissure, and it's Shockwave all on cooldown now. As Chovy blast coning his way over, this Baron is relatively slow.
Yeah, they're looking for the engage. They don't have that much. That is a very real thing, though. They don't have that Baron damage. Like teamfight damage, I think they're still fine. But yeah, look at their characters, and then
yeah.
A Kai'Sa would have gone a long way. An Ashe would have gone a long way, but they don't have any of that.
If it's a 50-50 on an Elder in this game, let's just say that they don't have like the Giga damage Feather Recall Smite situation.
They do not.
And if Ruler is ever caught reloading, the dragon might just disappear.
So that just further builds into our stalemate, though, which is not what we want.
Yeah. Keen has upgraded all of the stuff that his team has.
So Genji really is like 5k gold ahead.
Yeah.
If not more.
And does it matter that much as we move later and later into the game? That's the question.
So if Jin lives, then yes.
Well, yeah, the more items that Ruler gets, the more scary things do become, especially when he does have this build that's going to be legitimately able to do damage.
Keen is on a flank angle on the Ornn. You have to be a little bit tricky about it because Keria otherwise can cancel it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. They just want to get the door. They want to get the door so bad.
Well, Keria isn't putting it up, but that does mean he's taking a lot of damage.
Yep, and he can't put it up, right? Especially not with Keen out of vision. Gonna get breathed on here by Oner just a little bit. The rest of T1 coming on over, trying to offer the damage if they can. Canyon wanting to assist, and he gets over the wall. There's the Cyclone. Canyon flashes out, takes so much damage, as now Keen calls the Ram, and of course Keria is there to block it. The Dragon is gonna get taken, and the Curtain Call is just gonna be unanswered. A four-man knockup yet again, as the heroic entrance this time does nothing, and the Justice Punch is blocked. Genji, they lose their Gargoyle. But it's just Gargoyle for Dragon. It's Elemental Animal in trade for one another. And once again, we have a relatively even trade.
And Canyon's alive, so I don't even think they can do Baron! That was the promise of action and none of the delivery, Atlas, as we take another look. T1 make the
Look
call.
at how much damage Canyon takes here, by the way, when he goes over the wall.
Yeah, we can actually deal damage to Keen. They do. And then Keen is trying to help his buddy, which doesn't work out. And this is the first time I feel like there actually is a lack of damage, right? Because look at this engage from Duro. So Chovy stopwatches the ult. 4 men, but there's actually no damage.
Yep.
Doran just has a nice stopwatch in return. And that ultimate meant that the rest of the team couldn't really follow. So Duro could only assist. That Equalizer cut off the entire road.
Imagine like being Ruler in that moment and just seeing the dancing grenade potential. Oh my god.
Yeah, but he couldn't do it.
Absolutely not. As Chovy going to be able to pick up this wave towards the bottom side of the map.
So Soul is imminent now for Genji.
Yep.
But they don't have it yet. And also, unlike an Infernal Soul or Hex deck, I don't think this wins you the game automatically.
Oh no. It doesn't solve the damage issues. It gives them positional options, absolutely. And of course, like, Chovy from here on out is probably just going to be building damage, right? So the Galio is going to get more and more scary, but Keen is going to get less and less relevant as far as his damage is concerned. Ruler does have the Lord Dom.
Oh, the window.
Yeah.
Here for T1, Canyon might have to sacrifice his life.
Well, there is the Grand Starfall. Okay, Call the Forge God as well, gets a triple knockup, and the steal on the Baron for Canyon at the same time. He's got a GA, the curtains are being called, and maybe it's on more than just this Baron fight. Maybe this is the game winner, as Faker is getting encroached on, will get taken down, and Doran, he only has a sliver left, and the Deadly Flourish, it's named pretty well, but that last bullet, that's going to do it, and the poor man with a door is unable to hold it here for T1.
Who needs more damage dealers when you have Ruler on the chin? So much damage, but for me, those steals from Canyon Atlas.
My
The
goodness.
timing, absolutely perfect.
And
of
this
that.
time around, the Braum wasn't there. He wasn't there to block the train. And Gen G, they just drove right over the top of T1. They'll take down these Nexus turrets. They will move their record here, their LCK record, to 20 games in a row. And they will continue to make history here in the LCK. They are not stopping here today.